Wow. Wow. Okay. I have no words for this week's episode of Baddies Midwest. I don't even know where to begin. I mean, this show is so toxic. This show literally is rotten to its core. And shame on you, Rollie and Summer. I may have to literally unstand Rollie and Summer. This may be the end of the road for my love that I have for Rollie and Summer. I mean, the amount of disgust that was displayed in this week's episode and the way that Slim was treated. Now, y'all know I don't like Slim. I don't. So if I'm having sympathy for Slim, you know it was a bad situation, right? If I've got sympathy for Slim, you know it was a bad situation. Listen, you better believe we're going to talk about it. Welcome back to Damien After Dark. If you're new here, click the subscribe button below. Press the thumbs up button and like this video, please, if you don't do anything else. Join the conversation by getting in the comment section below and leaving me your thoughts and opinions on episode 17. And last but not least, if you would like to join the Damien After Dark movement and help us grow this channel, in the description box below will be some ways that you guys can donate. All right. Thank you guys so much. Wow. We've got such little time and so much to talk about because the internet has been ablaze. We've all been discussing this week's episode of Baddies Midwest. Rollie is under fire for her behavior in this week's episode. The fans have a lot of the fans have created another petition. If you guys remember, after Baddies East, there was a petition created to get Rollie off of the show, and it worked so much so that Zeus Network did not have Rollie in half of the season for Baddies Caribbean. Now they'll let them tell it and let Rollie tell it. It's because she was, getting her surgeries and going through medical stuff, but that had nothing to do with it. It was all because of the petition. And Zeus had to fall back on Rollie because the fans didn't want to see her anymore. Well, now the fans are speaking out again. They're upset. They're pissed at Rollie's behavior. We're going to talk about it. Y'all know I'm a Rollie fan. Y'all know I've been a Rollie stan. She's been one of my favorite baddies, but that ain't going to stop me from telling the truth, baby, of what we saw in this week's episode. Now, the episode began with the girls on the private jet. They're headed to St. Louis. They're trying to figure out what to do with Slim, right? Natalie's asking Rollie, what do you want to do with Slim? Rollie says that she's done and Slim has to go home, all right? And I'm like, finally, we can send Slim home and we can end this nightmare of what has been a cycle of abuse, right? We've seen Slim come in, get her ass beat. She leaves, she comes back in, she gets her ass beat. Now, granted, Slim to me is not a victim because she puts herself in these situations. However, that is not going to negate the fact that these girls abused her. Now, I mean, it is baddies. It is baddies, but I'm going to get into my reasoning, okay? Now, they get to the St. Louis house, which was T, by the way. I like that St. Louis house. I like a house that's got little extracurricular things that we can do, right? Because they had a bar outside. They had a bar and grill outside. They had a pool. They had a volleyball court with the sand, like a volleyball. I'm not a sports person, but y'all know. You can play volleyball out in the sand, okay? So I was here for the St. Louis house. I thought it was really cute. Now, a lot of the girls have already chosen their rooms. Some girls got there before the others. Apparently, that's the perks to riding on the private jet because you get there before the tour bus gets there. So you get to choose your rooms first. So, a lot of the OG girls, plus Big Lex and some of the others have already chosen their room, while the other girls that come in later, they get to choose their rooms last. Now, Anna, when she comes in, she says, bitch, I'm not choosing no motherfucking room here. I'm not staying here. It's the entitlement for me. That's my problem with these OG girls. They feel like they are untouchable. They feel like they are the cream of the crop and nobody gets better than them, and they are just the best reality stars that ever graced television. They act like they're Nene Leakes. They act like they're Tiffany New York Pollard. Like they just can, like, I don't get it. I don't get it. Like I want these girls who sit around here and act all high and mighty and who act like they don't have to lift a finger and to have everything just handed to them, like they need to go. And that's including you, Anna. Just because you sleep with the boss, allegedly, Just because you spread your legs and open your mouth for the boss, allegedly, does not mean that, like, you're entertaining and we want to see you. Get her off our screen. I don't know what's going on with my. Oh, there we go. Needs a little tightening. Um, Now, Jayla, Rollie, and Natalie, they're going to do a radio interview in St. Louis. They get there, they do the interview, they're promoting their tour that they're on. They're promoting this Baddies tour, right? Now, the host ask the girls who their faves are. You know, they're like, who is y'all's favorite this season? Blah, 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 blah. Rollie says Ivory is her favorite, which I'm like, where is Ivory? We ain't seen Ivory in a few episodes. I was thinking that. And then I had to remember that she said she had court or something. So I was like, oh, okay, that makes sense because we haven't seen Ivory in the last few episodes. So, you know, Rollie says Ivory is her favorite. Natalie says Big Lex is probably one of her favorites. Who has been your favorite this season? Who is your favorite? I have to say Big Lex. It was Summer for me, but Summer ruined it this episode for me, so I have to give it to Big Lex. Um, Now the girls leave the interview, and Natalie FaceTimes Tommy. Right, Tommy. We all love us some Tommy. Love it, love her or hate her. Natalie FaceTimes Tommy, and Tommy's in St. Louis. And Natalie's like, oh, Tommy, you know, you're in St. Louis. I just want to make sure you're going to pop by. I just want to make sure you're going to come see me and the girls. In other words, the show is lacking and slacking, and they need some content, so they're pulling out all the stops. They're pulling out all the tricks from the bag, okay? And Tommy is one of those tricks that they're pulling out of their bag. They need something to happen. Um, you know, they brought Slim out. They done beat the content out of her, literally. Now let's bring Tommy in. Now we see in a separate scene that Pretty P and Bad Dolly have some beef. Apparently, Pretty P has been going back and telling Emma. We know Emma, who was sent home. Pretty P has been telling Emma things that Dolly has been saying about her since she's been gone. And Dolly found out that Pretty P was going back and telling Emma these things, and she's not happy about it, right? So, you know, Dolly's like, you know, Pretty P, why are you being on baddie patrol? Why are you going back talking shit, telling Emma X, Y, and Z? Um, and you know, Pretty P, she's like, if you said it, why do you got a problem with me repeating it? If you're so bold to say it when she's not around, what's the problem with me going back and telling her? And I'm on Pretty P's side in that situation, and I feel like Pretty P is underrated. I like her. I think she's got a cute look to her, even though people give her hell and say she's not cute. I think she's very pretty. Um, and I think she's underrated because she can fight like nobody's business. I think that she won when it came to her and Bad Dolly. And I'm on her side with that. Like, if me and you are not already friends and I hear you talking shit about somebody that I fuck with, why are you going to be mad that I go back and tell said person that I fuck with what you said? Does that make sense? So we see them two scrap. They scrap out their issues, right? Pretty P versus Bad Dolly. Who do y'all give that to? I give that to Pretty P. Now, at first I was going to say it was a draw, it was a tie, but I feel like Pretty P was like that much more than what Dolly was bringing. Pretty P was bringing a little bit more than what Dolly was bringing. Now here come Slim and here comes Slim outside. She was with Pretty P because originally it was Bad Dolly and it was I forgot who she was sitting out there with, and then Slim and Pretty P came out there. Now I feel like in this scene in particular, this is like one of the best Slim has ever looked. When she's got her hair curly, I think she looks a lot better than like for instance compared to the confessional. Like in her confessional when she's got that bone straight hair and that, you know, funeral home makeup, whew, sister girl. But in tonight's episode or this week's episode, she had her hair curled and I thought Slim looked actually very pretty. Now, after Pretty P and Bad Dolly fight, Slim and Summer, they're sitting alone and Summer says, so Slim, how are you feeling right now about me? And Slim says, I'm going to be real with you. I don't like that you spoke on my father, who is now unalived. So I'm going to need you to run me that. So Slim gets up and she's ready to fight Summer, right? Now, why did last week's sneak preview make me think that Slim was giving Summer the business? Based off the sneak peek of last week, it looked like Baddies South Slim was back. But instead, it looked like, I don't want to say Summer got the best of her, but it looked like Summer got the best of her. It looked like she was throwing Slim around a little bit. Now, granted, Summer can't fight. No, she didn't beat Slim's ass, but I was just expecting more out of Slim and that fight based off of what we saw. Do you know what I mean? Like, now, Summer and Slim, they're fighting, they're arguing, and Summer starts hurling off things like F your dad, pick his body up off the floor. I mean, I just can't get down like that. I believe in karma. I believe what you put out comes back tenfold. Um, like Summer baby, you act like we all don't have to pass away one day. You act like your mama or daddy can't pass away. Be careful because your tongue is so powerful. Be careful what you speak. Be careful what you put into the universe. Talking about we're going to pick his body up off the floor. I just can't get down with that, Summer. And you really turned me off this episode, mama. You've done so much this season to make yourself stand out and be a star. You didn't need to do this. I feel like you really, really did too much this week's episode. Like, honestly. Now, Slim has fucked her hand up fighting Summer. They're wrapping her hand up with bandages. And then we see Pretty P and Dolly, they square up and fight again. I mean, it's baddies, everybody whooping everybody, right? So they over here squabbling. We just saw Slim and Summer squabbling. Now Slim's wrapping her hand up and Summer want to fight her again, but Slim's like, wait, let me get my hand wrapped up. And Pretty P says that she just doesn't understand why Dolly is mad about Emma. She says, just own it. Pretty P says that they called Emma ugly, but they've already said that about Emma before, so what was the problem? That's what Pretty P went back and told Emma. She went back and told Emma that, look, Bad Dolly and them's calling you ugly. Pretty much what they were saying when Emma was there. So Pretty P is like, what's the issue? You already know what the tea is. You already know what you said. Stop fishing for a storyline, and I'm here with her on that. Like, you boldly stated this on TV. What's the problem? Now, meanwhile, Slim, while Summer is going off on her, I told y'all Slim has a few little things that she goes to, which is like, or twerking. So she starts twerking. Anytime Slim is embarrassed or she gets her ass whooped, she'll start twerking. So she's twerking, and um, Summer comes around and swings on her as she's twerking. I'm like, damn, Slim don't catch a break this episode, right? Now, Dolly has dislocated her nose again, for a second time because apparently it was already fragile from the auditions. We know Dolly fucked her hand up and her nose up in the auditions. Now we see Timon and Puma hanging out on the porch. We know Timon and Puma is Biggie and Anna. Now they're talking about Noo-noo and the situation with Biggie and Noo-noo and Anna and how they had that fight and how Biggie and Anna kind of tag teamed Noo-noo in a way and or jumped, whatever you want to call it. And here go Biggie in her confessional. I just don't understand why Noo-noo. I just don't think Noo-noo understands why she got popped. I don't think Noo-noo understands why she got popped. You got popped because, girl, you couldn't pop a motherfucking grape. So please, Biggie, this is why nobody fucks with you. You get in these confessionals and you talk cash money shit like you did something talking about this is why you got popped. You couldn't pop your own pussy, much less pop a bitch in her face. Miss me with it, Biggie. We're tired of you. We are tired of you. Oh my God. Like, I'm just so tired of hearing her voice. I'm tired of the bass. I'm tired of the baritone. I'm tired of the tuba. Now, as Anna and Biggie are talking about this situation, producers instruct Noo-noo to come outside, right? Send in Noo-noo. So Noo-noo walks outside. And Noo-noo's like, what y'all talking about? And Biggie says, if you have an issue with me, like, what you want to do, what you want to do, what's your issue, blah, 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 blah. Biggie feels like Noo-noo was a part of a setup that happened during the Baddies Caribbean auditions when J.O. snuck Biggie, popped her right in the fucking face. I could rewatch that scene over and over and over and over again, okay? That scene from the Caribbean reunion when J.O. takes that long ass arm and just goes, whop! And Biggie goes, I could watch it over and over again. So Biggie feels like Noo-noo was a part of that because Noo-noo knew what J.O. was going to do. Biggie's got a problem. But like Noo-noo said, I wasn't on the stage at that time. I'm not finna try to break my neck to go tell you what J.O. going to do. Like, come on, Biggie. You and Noo-noo weren't even cool. Why would she come tell you what J.O.'s plans were? I mean, that scene of J.O. rocking Biggie's fucking neck. Chef's kiss, okay? Now, Noo-noo, she says that she's not over the situation. And Biggie says, so what you want to do about it? And Anna says, if y'all want to fight, I won't jump in. You, Damien, be nice. I can't help myself. You dirty, low-down streetwalker, you. I bet you do want to jump in, don't you? I bet you do want to jump in. I bet you were itching to jump in that fight because you hoes can't stand on your own, can you? Y'all can't stand in the paint on your own and fight one-on-one. You love to jump. I mean, we've said it, right? What is Anna's go-to, everybody? She loves to jump. She loves to sneak. She loves to tag team, or she's going to use a weapon. Anna's never going to get in there one-on-one with you, fists flying. It's not going to happen with Anna Whack, okay? Now, she's just that type of girl. Now, we see Anna and Biggie, I mean, Biggie and Noo-noo, we see them go at it, right? They start scrapping, they start fighting, and it felt like security was protecting Biggie a little bit because, I mean, we didn't get 3 seconds of Noo-noo versus Biggie before security swooped up and grabbed her ass because they know Biggie can't fight. They're going to have to save Biggie. Now, Noo-noo says, I'm about to beat your ass, you big whale, big back bitch. I felt that read through the motherfucking TV, bitch. It was like, um, but I'm like, damn, Noo-noo, damn, like, fuck, you and Natalie, y'all just going in on Biggie this season, calling her everything but her name. Like, y'all know I don't like Biggie, but I ain't gonna call her no fat bitch. I'm not gonna call her no big back, whale back bitch. Like, god damn, these girls are lethal. But listen, I get it. When you're mad at somebody, I guess you just say whatever. But anyway. Um, Anna says it's taking everything in her not to knock Noo-noo in the back of her head. Why? Why do you need to knock Noo-noo in the back of her head? Why, her and Biggie can't handle their situation? Why do you need to insert yourself into it? Exhibit B, why we don't like you, Anna Whack. Exhibit B, like you so quick to get involved and jump somebody, but your stank ass won't ever fight on your own for yourself. I don't get how and it's the people out here, it's the fans of this show that actually like these pathetic hookers. I'm like, how do y'all like these two girls? I don't get it. I do not get it. They don't bring anything to this show. Anna and Biggie bring absolutely nothing to this show. Their personalities are inauthentic. They're scripted. They come up with what they're gonna say. They think they're gangsters. They think that they're these OG bad bees that they're not. They're not. Somebody please debate me on that in the comments, please. Now, Noo-noo and Biggie, they fight again. We see them fight again on the front porch. I mean, It's kind of like Slim in Summer. Wasn't really giving anything. I was hoping Noo-noo was going to get in there and really take Biggie to Pound Town, but I mean, and all you hear when Biggie is fighting and arguing is like if I heard that, I would be scared and think it was a fucking demon. Like, is that my sleep paralysis demon that I hear? Like, what the fuck is that noise? Is that Bigfoot, bitch? What is that? Like seriously, all I hear is bass and Noo-noo started mocking Biggie in her confessionals too this week, and it was on point. It was on point, okay? Because you can't understand Biggie. That's all you hear. Like, slow down, baby girl. Slow down. Breathe. Tinkerbella comes outside because she hears the girls arguing. Biggie and Anna, they're in the driveway while Noo-noo is on the porch. So they're like going back and forth. They're screaming, they're yelling at one another. Here come Tessiki. She rolls up, aka their bodyguard, as my brother likes to call Tessiki. She's like, my brother said that's their bodyguard. The only reason that Anna and Tessiki, or the only reason Anna and Biggie like Tessiki is because they think that she's gonna protect them. But the gag is she don't give a shit about them girls, and she ain't never gonna fight for them girls. Have we seen them? Have we seen her really fight for Anna and Biggie? Maybe one time, I think. Maybe once, but Tasiki really ain't trying to fight for Anna and Biggie like that. They her co-workers, not her friends. Okay, they're her co-workers. Now, and two, we don't even know that Tasiki is there. Okay, she's high, baby, in her own bubble, in her own world, in her own corner. That's fine, Tasiki, whatever. Now, Anna tells Noo-noo that Biggie doesn't feel like it's fair because Noo-noo fucked up Biggie's wig during that fight. And I'm like, are you serious right now? Y'all are grasping for straws. When you get your ass beat and all else fails, grasp for straws. Um, well, which I don't think Noo-noo beat Biggie's ass, but let's face it, anytime Biggie's in a fight, she doesn't make herself look that good. She looks like the one that's lost every time. But I'm just like, why are y'all really bringing up this whole wig? Like, your wig is not up for grabs, literally. Like, your wig won't get tore if you're out here fighting. And anyway, like, you look like Elvis Presley in that wig anyway, Biggie. Like, come on. It wasn't. Bitch, she looked like she would have said, if I was a woman, I will love you. Biggie looked like she would have said, I love you. Ooh. Listen, I can't take her serious. I couldn't take her serious in that red wig, bitch. She looked like she was either ready to go perform an Elvis Presley tribute, or she looked like she was getting ready to jump on the motherfucking Harley Davidson, bitch. All she was missing was the biker jacket, okay? Now, Big Lex says, I'm sitting here looking at Anna and Biggie arguing with Noo-noo again, and I'm just thinking, you bitches can't fight. And I don't know what you got up your sleeve. Them bitches is fucking jumpers. I mean, did she tell a lie? Did she tell a lie? That's why Big Lex is my favorite, because finally someone is coming along and clocking everything that I've clocked. Like, Big Lex was just a viewer like we were, and she's come along as a cast member now, and she's speaking her mind, but it's also almost like she's speaking for me as well through she's speaking for a lot of the viewers because they are jumpers. They can't fight. We don't know what they're ever going to have up their sleeve. Now, somehow this argument turns into an all out back and forth argument with a group of the baddies because we see a group of the girls come outside, they hear the commotion, and all of a sudden you got like 10 baddies on the porch screaming down at Anna and Biggie. Everybody's going back and forth arguing. Even Jaden Alexis comes out, and when Jaden Alexis comes out, Biggie decides to turn up the volume even more, and she starts targeting Jaden, saying, "What are you doing out here? What are you doing out here, bitch? What are you doing out here? What the fuck is she doing here? What is Big Barbie doing here? Why the fuck are you here? Big Barbie, why are you here? And Jaden says, because I can be, dirt neck. I love it, Jaden. Clock her every motherfucking time. Jaden could breathe and Biggie's upset. And I find it very ironic and very funny how Biggie picks and chooses who she's going to scream with, who she's going to scream at, I'm sorry, who she's going to get buck with, who she's going to get loud with. Because all those girls came outside and you decided to scream at Jaden. You decided to yell at Jaden and say, what are you doing here? Why didn't you say, what are you doing here to somebody else? Jaden don't have the right to come outside. She's on this show too. She was probably paid more than you. She's the celebrity guest, right? You were a replacement, Biggie. Stay in your lane. Now, it's later on that night, and we see a scene with Pretty P, Big Lex, Jazz, and Slim. They're outside at the volleyball court, and they are playing volleyball back and forth. And Pretty P asks Slim, what's the status on you and Rollie's friendship, your relationship? And Slim says, I'm no longer Rollie's assistant anymore. She says, I spoke about Rollie's son, and Rollie spoke about my dad. But as loud as the disrespect was, Slim says that she felt like her apology should have been just as loud as the disrespect that she gave. And maybe she just had to do that. Po thing. My thing is, so you're going to justify everything you've gone through, Slim? You're trying to justify everything that they put you through because of what you, like, I don't feel like Slim deserves what she's gone through because of what she said. I think she deserved an ass whooping, yes, but I don't think she deserved everything they've put her through simply because of what she said, because some of these girls have said worse. However, it's not like Slim has been held against her will and forced to be in the baddie's house. She chose to put herself in this toxic environment, and that's the part that I'm struggling with. Now, I just wish for once in her life she would be honest and just say, I wanted back on this show so bad that I was willing to do whatever and take whatever treatment Rollie gave me. If you would have said that, people would have respected you a lot more, at least for being honest. At least. But you're trying to save face, and we know better. I know you were not trying to make your apology as loud as the disrespect. No, you weren't. You don't give a shit about an apology. You want it back on Baddies. Now, 1 minute Slim is saying she's Rollie's assistant. The next minute she says she was never anybody's assistant. And I'm like, which one is it? Because 1 second she was barking like a dog. The next minute, you ain't nobody's assistant. Like, and then you bringing people snacks and shit. And then the next minute, I'm not your assistant. Like, which one is it? Now, Big Lex asks Slim, what are you going to do if they try to get you to leave? What are you going to do if Rollie tells you you've got to go? And Slim says, they going to have to swag surf me up out this bitch. I ain't going nowhere. Oh, really? Well, the end of the episode begs to differ, my love. I don't like how Slim was done this episode, but she was very bold about saying she wasn't going anywhere. I think in Slim's mind, to me, it's sad because Slim, I feel like in her mind, she was confident that she was staying at this point, right? Um, she was confident that she was gonna stay only to get snuck twice and be sent home. Now, she was starting to get comfortable, in my opinion. I think that in Slim's mind, she was like, oh, okay, I've been here 3 or 4 days now. I haven't been sent home yet. Okay, maybe I can stay the rest of the tour. But it didn't work out that way. Now, producers, send in Rollie and Scotty. In walk Rollie and Scotty. Here they come, walking in. And Rollie has a sheet of paper in her hand. And Slim's like, what's this? And Rollie hands her the piece of paper, and Slim looks at it, and she's like, AKA GTA stripper. She's like, AKA GTA stripper. Anyway, I guess Rollie labeled it to GTA stripper because we know Rollie called Slim a GTA prostitute last week. Now, Slim begins to read the note, which says, quote, Slim, aka the GTA stripper, leave your wig, stripper shorts, and the little bit of the Don Julio in your cup. Listen, I know y'all don't like Rollie, but that was funny. The little bit of leave with the little bit of Don. I would have said leave with your shorts, your stripper shorts, your plastic boots, your wig, and the little bit of Don Julio in your cup, plus the little bit of dignity that you got left, and leave with that. That's what I would have said. Now, Rollie, after Slim reads the eviction notice, Rollie turns to Scotty and says, what did she say about me? And Scotty says, you were saying a lot of really bad shit about Rollie at the last meeting. Now, that's kind of crazy, Slim. And I'm like, now, Scotty, you really came out there and stirred. Scotty said, I've been boring all fucking season. Let me go out here and stir some shit up. You really stirred the shit up, baby. Scotty went, baby, she was stirring it. She threw Slim right up under that motherfucking bus, bitch. Straight up under that bus, backed it up, ran over her again, backed it up again, ran over her again. But my thing is, did y'all really expect Slim to have positive things to say about Rollie? Did we really expect Slim to be praising Rollie and say all these positive things? Okay, maybe she shouldn't have said anything since she was trying to get back on the show through Rollie, right? Maybe she should have kept her mouth shut, laid low. That's what I would have done. I would have laid low to try to get back on the show. But Slim was drinking, popping her shit, you know. She thought she was back on Baddies as a full-time cast member already. And now it's coming back to bite her in the ass. But, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked that she was talking shit about you, Rollie. Now, Scotty says, you know what you signed up for. And if you didn't want to be here, why would you come and play in Rollie's face like that? Then Rollie says, for me to give you the opportunity to build yourself up and let you come back, Natalie was going to let you come back. I was going to let you come back. I'm just like, Cap, stop right there. Stop right there. Because y'all are gaslighting the fuck out of this girl right now. We're going to keep it a buck, okay? We're going to keep it a buck. Y'all are gaslighting the fuck out of this girl right now. Natalie was not going to let her come back. Rollie was not going to let her come back. They were pretty much dangling the Baddies experience over Slim's head like a piece of cheese, as if she were a dog, a cat, or a mouse. They were dangling it over her head, making her do God knows whatever to humiliate her on television and have this as a storyline, have this as content because there was nothing else going on. Okay? I mean, she was there for one reason and one reason only. Content, to be treated like trash and to be humiliated. Let's just be real. She's been emotionally abused. She's been physically abused. She's been verbally abused. And listen, I'm not saying Slim's a victim because like I said, she is putting herself in these situations. But it's not right what happened in this episode. Now, when Rollie beat her ass at the beginning, when she tried to come back, okay, that's fine, whatever, we're on the show. But this episode was very dark. This episode was very cult-like, very sinister, very weird. I couldn't get with it. Now, I just want to know, like, what happened? So, after Rollie serves Slim with this eviction notice, she tells Slim, since you've been talking shit about me while you've been in the house, now you've got to take this ass whooping. So, you know, Rollie gets in her stance. She's getting ready to fight. Slim, she throws the eviction letter down. She gets ready to fight. They start to scrap in. Of course, Rollie mollywops Slim, as always, for the sixth time. They go at it for a sixth time, almost like this is an abusive husband and wife situation. Like you would think Slim is the baby mama that's getting beat on by her abusive baby daddy, which will be Rollie. I mean, damn. Now, Scotty can be heard as Rollie is fighting Slim. Scotty can be heard saying, "Why do you want to stay here just to get beat on?" Um, and listen, I agree with Scotty on that. Like, well, I don't get why Slim wants to be there if she keeps getting beat on, but it's the obvious, right? She wants the job, she wants the opportunity, she wants to be on the show, just like everyone else. And at first, I did not agree with her being there, her trying to get on the show through Rollie, but now it's like, Jesus Christ, why? I can't wrap my head around why they would want to do this into this girl and treat her this way. Like, I can't wrap my head around it. Now here goes Pimp Master Flex, Natalie. Natalie walks out on the balcony. Natalie walks out on the balcony screaming, "What is going on? What is going on?" Like she wasn't watching everything go down from her bedroom. Like she knows exactly what's going on. She says, "If Rollie gave you an eviction notice and you're not being an assistant, I don't need you as an assistant either. I've got too many. You've got to go." Wow. Like I've said it before and I'll say it again, Slim, if it's not clear that these girls don't like you, if it's not clear, I don't know what is. Now, Big Lex had just asked Slim 5 minutes prior if she was going to leave if they asked her to. And we know what Slim said. She said, "No, I'm not going nowhere. You're going to have to get me out of here, right?" And where's that energy, Slim? I wish you would have kept that same energy with Natalie. And I get Natalie's over everything, but I would have went out with a bang because you were going home anyway. I would have went out with a bang. I would have cussed Natalie out. I would have clocked her. I would have clocked everybody. No, she probably would have got jumped if she would have done that. But I just hate the way Slim went out. And y'all know I'm not a Slim fan. I'm really not. I just don't like how they did her and made her look. Now, granted, again, she made herself look this way by putting herself in this position. But I'm pretty sure Slim did not think this would be her experience on the show. Now, she goes inside to talk to Natalie. Slim goes inside to talk to Natalie. And Natalie's like, "What happened? Like, what's the tea?" Slim says that she was out here having a good time with the girls playing volleyball, and Rollie came and served her an eviction notice. Now, while Rollie is upstairs on the balcony talking to Natalie, or while Slim is upstairs on the balcony talking to Natalie, Rollie is downstairs taunting Slim, screaming stuff at her, throwing liquor, throwing liquids up at her. And we hear Slim yell at Scotty and say, "Scotty, she talked about my dad first," trying to justify why she talked about Rollie's son. But that's the thing. Which one is it? Who said what first? Did Slim talk about Rollie's son first, or did Rollie talk about Slim's father first? Because I've heard both things, and I've never gotten down to the crux of it, of how this started. Because, Rollie, if you did talk about her deceased father first, of course, your family's fair game. You know what I mean? If you were talking about a loved one of my brother passed away in 2014. If somebody was talking about him, you don't think I'm coming for yours and your family? The fuck? So that's why I want to know, like, who said what first? Now, Slim is on the balcony next to Natalie, and she's looking over the balcony, and she's talking to Scotty. She's talking to somebody, and out of nowhere, Rollie comes from behind her, sneaks her, knocks her in the face. Slim falls backwards. Rollie grabs her by the bun of her hair and then yanks her down to the ground. I was stunned, bitch. Okay, I was like, mouth dropped. Like, I didn't like it. It just seemed very dark to me. Like, I get that Rollie and Slim do not like each other. Okay, I get it. But I felt bad for Slim in that moment because it felt like overdrive. It felt like Rollie was doing way too much. Like, the punishment did not fit the crime, in my opinion. Like, we get it, Rollie. You can beat ass. We get it that you can beat Rollie's ass. We know this. You have done it 6 times now. When is enough enough? This was abuse. This was abuse. And I mean, it was sad to see because it's like, obviously you can beat Slim's ass. You don't have to prove that to us. You're literally 3 times, 4 times Slim's size. Obviously, if you go up next to her, you're gonna clock her. Like Rollie, like I want to see you go. I want to see Rollie go up next to Billy Barbie from Now That's TV. I want to see Rollie go up next to somebody that's actually a challenge for her and not someone like Slim. It was just so wrong what happened and what she did. I could see if Slim did something to warrant this. But she did not do anything to warrant getting her ass beat 6 times, getting snuck from behind, yanked down to the floor. I mean, and shame on you, Zeus. Y'all condoning this shit, encouraging this shit, profiting off of this shit, loving this shit, rewarding this behavior. Now here's my thing. What happens if Slim would have hit the ground the wrong way and now it's over and she's done with? What happens if Slim would have hit the ground the wrong way, broke her back, broke her neck, something bad would have happened? Now it's not fun and games anymore, is it, Zeus? Because I'm telling y'all, I don't want this to happen, but something is going to happen at the hands of this network while they're filming these shows where it's so reckless that people don't care about the well-being of others. I get it, we're filming a show. I get it, we have to fight, we have to argue, but when is too far too far? When is too much too much? DTB, Diamond the Bodies, she was not present for this scene here, but she took to Instagram and said that this is exactly what she was talking about on the bus episodes before, when she says none of these girls care about anybody, none of them have empathy for each other, and it's just toxic. I mean, when you've got all this negative energy and this drama that happens, it really becomes the energy really becomes dark. Really becomes dark. And it really seemed like schoolgirl hive mentality. Like, we don't like Slim. She's the scrub of the group. Let's pick on her. We're above her. We've been here longer than her. Oh, she wants to come back to the show. Let's make her beg for it. Let's make her plead for it. Let's make her look like a fool. And in the process, let's beat her while we're at it. Let's mentally, physically, and emotionally beat on her. And another thing, if they wanted to bring back Slim, why couldn't y'all just have brought back Slim? Why did she have to come back through Rollie? Like, I get it, maybe Slim is not entertaining enough on her own. Or maybe, Rollie did say that she was not asked back, that Slim was not asked back after Baddies South because she was hard to work with. And when you're hard to work with, when you talk to people, when you talk to staff like crap, when you show up late, when you show up drunk, when you think you're better and you have an attitude, you won't get hired back. It's hard to get hired in this industry. So I guess I'm just trying to look at all the scenarios as to why Slim didn't get asked back on her own and why she had to come through as through Rollie. Because here's the thing, Zeus knew that Rollie was not going to have Slim back, but they did this anyway. They said, let's call Slim back and then let's let Rollie decide if Slim gets to come back or not. And then we can see Rollie taunt her. Because they knew Rollie was going to taunt her. They knew Rollie was going to put her through hell if she wanted to be back on the show, right? I feel like they've created this monster that is Rollie, whose head has gotten big, her ego's gotten huge. Again, y'all know I love Rollie, and she's one of my favorite baddies, but I'm going to check you when you need to be checked, sis. And I feel like your ego is out of control at this point. I love me some Rollie, I do. I get you were pissed at Slim, I get it, but it didn't take all that. It didn't require all that. It really didn't. Now, meanwhile, Slim is arguing with Rollie. She's on the balcony. She's facing Rollie, trying to keep her eyes on her so she doesn't get snuck again. So she's facing Rollie. She's walking backwards. She's talking. She's arguing. She's like, really, Rollie? You're going to sneak me like that? You're going to sneak me like that? And then all of a sudden, here comes Summer from this way. Summer comes from behind and bop, sneaks Slim again for a second time. Mouth dropped again. I could not believe what I was seeing. Like, oh my God, what did this girl do to y'all that she deserves to be a punching bag? I get the show is baddies. I'm not negating that. But the fight has to make sense. There has to be some reasoning behind it. And I get Summer and Slim just had issues, but y'all just fought. The sneaking, the jumping, the bullying, it's not cool. And now all the baddies on the show are wanting to backtrack. Everybody's wanting to pussy pop. Ooh, ooh, oh, oh, I didn't mean it. Da, 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 da. And I wanted to talk about Scotty is backpedaling and pussy popping. Rollie and Scotty have since unfollowed one another because Scotty took to her Instagram and she said the following. She put this on her Instagram. Saying, she wished she would have stopped Rollie and oh my God, I hate that that happened to Slim. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. In that moment, you were reveling in it. You started it, Scotty. What do you mean that this is just all bullshit? At the end of the day, she's talking about, I apologize to my supporters. You knew what you were doing. And this is what happens, Scotty, when you're a follower. When you're a follower and you don't beat to your own drum, this is the kind of stuff that happens. And you followed Rollie and you started the shit and now you got to pay for it. I just don't buy her little apology. I don't think she felt sorry for Slim either. The GTA stripper. I don't think she felt sorry. And it's like with Summer and Rollie, why don't y'all go sneak Tasiki? Go sneak Ivory. This episode made me so mad. I'm so disappointed in Rollie and Summer that I may have to unstand. Like, it was sick behavior. It really was. Like, that was gang mentality. Okay. Um, and then Slim really never gets a fair chance to defend herself if you watch, because every time she's attacked and she gets ready to defend herself, security comes in and swoops her up and pulls her back, which angers her even more. And I understand that. Like, what the fuck? I just got attacked and now I'm trying to defend myself and y'all are holding me back? Oh, hell no. You know what I mean? I get it. Now, it felt like a setup in a way. It almost felt like Slim was being set up because every time Slim gets clocked upside the head and tries to defend herself, y'all pull her back. But how come y'all didn't pull Rollie back when she was coming to sneak? There's a hair floating in the air. There's a hair floating in the air. Um, how come y'all didn't stop Rollie when she was coming up behind Slim to sneak her? How come y'all didn't stop Summer when she was coming up behind to sneak her? Y'all got security and people everywhere at different checkpoints. You didn't want to stop her. It was a setup. Y'all know what was happening. That's just my opinion. I think it was a setup. Now, Natalie is going through the house screaming, I'm going to help her pack her bags. I'm going to help her pack her. Well, I'm like, finally, y'all should have been done this. Instead of stringing the girl along and letting her stay day after day only to get her ass whooped and harassed. And y'all know, like, the first few episodes that Slim came back, I wasn't here for it. I was like, Slim, you're putting yourself in this situation. You deserve to get your ass whooped. You talked about Rollie's son. Now you're back and you're trying to get on the show through Rollie. But now that we've seen 5, 6 episodes of the same thing, the same treatment, the same berating and degrading and treating like crap, it's like, okay, enough is enough. You got your rocks off. Leave the girl alone. And y'all should have been sent her home. But you wanted to humiliate her. Now, Rollie tells Summer that was her situation and she should have stayed out of it. And I agree with Rollie on that. Now, Summer did have an issue with Slim. They did have an issue. But at that moment, Slim and Rollie were arguing. Summer, you didn't need to jump in that. And I felt like you only did that to try to look cool, to try to get points with the OGs, to try to, have a moment. And really, it really dropped your stock big time, Summer. It really dropped your stock. Now, Noo-noo also tells Summer that you shouldn't be sneaking nobody. She tells her to go head to head, Get in front of the person. Let them see that you're about to hit them. And Summer says in her confessional, that bitch Slim saw me. I didn't sneak her. She looked me straight in my eye. Yes, she might have looked you straight in her eyes zero point 0.5 seconds as she was turning and you were punching her. She didn't have time to react. You snuck her. Simple as that. We're not going to beat around the bush and act like that's not what it was. The same way Anna Mac and Biggie like to sneak, Rollie and Summer was sneaking. Now, Nunu asked Rollie if she would be willing to sit down and apologize to Slim, or not apologize. Nunu asked Rollie if she would be willing to sit down to talk to Slim and try to talk the situation out. And Rollie says, no, I've done that time and time again. And she says that Slim will apologize only to go online and talk shit again. And that is true. That is fact. Because I believe Slim and Rollie, they would make up, right? If you follow them online and you follow all the tea online, they would make up. And it's almost like Slim would expect Rollie to get her back on the show or something. And then when it didn't happen, Slim would go back online and start talking shit about Rollie. I think Slim, in her mind, she thought if I go online and talk shit about Rollie, that gets some interest drummed up, that gets a beef started, and then that gets me back on the show. And it worked, right? She got back on Baddies Midwest because of her beef with Rollie they were having online. And she's been auditioning for every season since Baddies South. Um, but it almost to me, this is just my opinion. We know Slim and Rollie came on Zeus together. Rollie became the bigger star, and I think Slim has always resented that. I truly do. I think deep down, Slim has been like, why me? Why am I not chosen? Why is Rollie chosen? I'm the skinny, light skinned one. How am I not chosen? Do you know what I mean? So that's just that may not be true, but I think that there is true deep resentment there for that. Like, if you go in something with somebody and you're not chosen, it kind of makes you go, well, why am I not good enough? Now, Natalie tells Slim that she wants no more problems with her, with the other baddies, all this drama that they're having, and they start trying to make Slim feel better as they're kicking her out of the house by telling her, "Look, Slim, you're still a baddie. You can come to the reunion. You can come to the premiere. We'll welcome you at all these places." And Slim is packing her bags. She's crying, and she says, "I can come to the reunion. I can come to the premiere. I ain't no baddie. I'm an assistant." Both like it really is sad to watch Slim's fall from grace because she started on this show at the top, or she started on this show at the bottom when they were just starting out, and it really wasn't, it really wasn't hitting, and the show started growing because of Baddies South, and it got bigger and bigger and bigger, but she was not a part of that success, right? Could you imagine, like, you started working on a show, or let's say you started a company with someone. Let's say you started a business with someone, and that business, at the beginning it wasn't taking off. And then you decided to leave, or they kicked you out of the business. And then 3, 4, 5 years later, the business is booming, it's successful, it's thriving, it's making millions of dollars. And you're over here like, wait a minute, what about me? That's what I think happened to Slim. Um, and poor thing, you just can't help but feel sorry for her. Whether you like Slim or not, you can't help but feel sorry for her as she's sitting here with these two different shades of makeup on her face. She's blotchy, splotchy, different color makeup on her face. Neck white, uh, face real tan from makeup that she got on. Her face is swollen from being clocked and clobbered every which way, jumped, snuck, twisted up. They done twisted her every way but loose this episode. It's just sad. Really, it's sad to watch. It's sad to watch Slim go out like this. It's sad to see how these girls treated her. Now, Jayla tells Slim, everybody's experience on Baddies is different, and this is just yours. Yeah, like that's gonna make her feel better, Jayla. And your experience on Baddies would have been different too if you hadn't had your tongue and your nose so far up Natalie's asshole that you couldn't see or smell anymore. Your experience, I'm sure, would be different too. But you've played the game a little differently than Slim. You've kissed Natalie's ass from the beginning, and that's why you're where you are now. Natalie tells Slim, "I'm going to help you pack your things, and we will have you at the reunion. We will see you again." And I just know on the inside, Slim like wants to fall out, cry, scream, break things, lose her shit. Because I thought she said she was staying no matter what. I'm just saying. Look, I'm not trying to laugh at the situation, but didn't she say she was staying no matter what? And you had, and they was gonna have to swag surf her ass up out of there. I'm just saying. Now, and you know what I was thinking watching this? I wonder why they won't allow Slim to stay after how many girls do we see come and go on these shows? I mean, Tommy just popped up, Noo-noo just popped up, and she gets to stay. There's always new girls or past baddies popping up and staying. Biggie came in as a replacement on Baddies East. What? I just don't get it. I don't get why she can't be there. It's like they got her there for one reason and one reason only: get some content and then dispose of her. They disposed of her like a dirty tampon. I'm just being real. That's what it seemed like to me. It's almost like they didn't want Slim without the Rollie situation. And Slim couldn't stand alone as a character of her own, I guess. There's got to be a reason why they didn't allow Slim to come back without Rollie. There's got to be a reason why they didn't allow Slim to stay. It's either she they didn't want to invest in her, or like Rollie said, she was hard to work with. One of the two. But listen, I'd be sick if I was her. I would be sick if I was her. Um, because these girls are out here making great money, traveling the world, living their best life, and I'm out here having to get my ass beat for a couple $1,000s, and then I'm headed back to the strip club. Now, Slim is sitting there in the bedroom as she's packed her things. Natalie, Jayla, Pretty P, Tinkerbella, they're all sitting there with her, trying to comfort her, trying to support her. And she says that she just wishes she could have reconciled with her friend. And she's crying, I wish I could have reconciled with my sister. And this is where I get confused. Okay, see, this is where I get confused because Slim will do this. She'll cry and say, she wants to be with her sister. She misses her friend. And then you'll talk shit about Rollie and, call her fat this, bow-legged chicken leg, or not chicken leg, what you call it? Chicken breast, chicken thigh leg. I don't know, whatever she be calling Rollie. Knock-kneed ass, calling her all kind of names, right? You call Rollie all these names, then she beats your ass, then you apologize and cry and say you want your sister back, only to dog her and call her names again. And I can't understand it. You can't have it both ways, Slim. You can't dog Rollie and then say you love and miss her and you want your sister back. Like that's the part that I have a hard time understanding. In the same confessional, she's talking about how she wanted to get her sister back and is crying, but at the same time, you calling her knock-kneed, turkey leg ass bitch. I don't agree with what they did to Slim, but hey, Slim would not be trusted in my opinion, just because how she does like that flip flopping shit. Dogging me 1 second and then you love me the next, and I'm your sister. No. Now Slim, she says, she does her exit video. This, I'm leaving y'all. This is my whatever. She says this is Slim, the original. No copy and paste. Don't ever get it fucked up. Who is trying to copy and paste Slim? I'm just saying. Who is trying to copy and paste the GTA stripper? As she said. Now next week, the episode that we've all been waiting for arrives. Tommy shows up, and Tommy gets into it with Rollie. We see Tommy and Rollie have some words. We see Tommy and Akbar have some words. And we also see things get so tense between Tommy and Rollie that Tommy pulls out a GUN and points it at the girl's bitch. And she had everybody gagged, okay? Gagged. The episode we've all been waiting for. Everybody been waiting on Tommy. This season been so dry as shit. Everybody been waiting on Tommy. I mean, listen, I don't condone what Tommy did. I think it's crazy, and I think it's a liability. Like, how do you bring a GUN to work, to set, and get away with it? How is she not reprimanded? How is Tommy not fined? How is she not fired? Whatever they got to do to get the content, right? Right, Zeus? Whatever makes good TV, you don't care, huh? Because let me tell you something. If I would have been there and Tommy would have done that, do you know how fucking traumatizing that would have been? Living in especially if you live in the United States, the climate that we live in, where you have to worry about everywhere you go, any public function, any public event, any public outing, you have to worry about if it's going to be piled up by some crazy idiot. And like now you got Tommy pulling out GUNs. Like, this is what I'm talking about. It's not cute. It's not funny. Like I said, we've been waiting on this episode just because it's been so hyped and there's been so much talked about it and so much tea. But it's not cute. And I feel like if I was there, I would be ready to file a lawsuit on somebody. Like, because y'all are not keeping your talent safe. Why was Tommy not searched? How is she allowed to walk onto that set with a GUN and threaten anybody's life like that? And what happens if she would have shot it and it would have went off accidentally or purposely and somebody's lost their life? I mean, these people, Zeus just does not care. Zeus does not care. It's getting really toxic, y'all. It's getting really, really bad, right? Listen, I want to hear your thoughts and opinions on episode 17, so make sure you get in the comment section and join the conversation. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below, right down there. Also, press the thumbs up button. That helps me get into the algorithm. I really, really appreciate it. And if you would like to donate, in the description box below will be some ways that you can donate using PayPal, Cash App, Venmo, and Zelle. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time on Damien After Dark. All right. See you. If you like this content, reality TV, hot topics, gossip, and so much more, make sure you check me out on the all-male panel show called Bro Chat, airing right now on Instagram and YouTube. I'll put the link to the show in the description box below so you can check me and my co-hosts out as we debate the latest hot topics on your favorite reality shows like the Real Housewives, Love and Marriage Huntsville, Belle Collective, and so much more. I hope to see you there.